Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Olesya, very good to see you here as always, and today we're gonna chat about my favorite spring perfumes which I've been wearing this spring 2021. And without further ado, let's dive in. So I'm gonna start with this Zara perfume, which I probably already showed you 100 times before, but I just want to point out that all of the perfumes that we'll be talking to you about today, they all remind me of spring, of blossoms. I think they're perfect for the season. So even though I mentioned them before, I'm still wearing them this spring season. So this one comes to mind because it's very fresh and clean, very white floral. It smells very elegant, and actually it smells like a luxury or niche fragrance. To me personally, I cannot believe that I got this fragrance under $30 a couple of years ago in Zara. Actually, I think it was last year. So in terms of notes here, we have lychee, ginger, pepper. Those are top notes. They add a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of spiciness to the fragrance, but definitely it's a very white floral dominant fragrance. So in terms of flowers, we have here freesia, magnolia, jasmine, and in base notes we also have musk and amber. So it's sophisticated. It's not your typical floral. I think that it has a very nice warm base to it. It also has a little bit of spiciness, just a teeny tiny bit, to make it more blossoming, making it more interesting rather than your typical floral. So definitely look into this if you're looking for everyday casual elegant floral fragrance. The next one is something which I'm obsessed with. I wear it almost every day, and I actually showed it to you in my previous video. I did a whole review about this fragrance and the other fragrance from Dossier. So this is Fruity Honey by Dossier, and I'm just obsessed with it. I think it's just very perfect for the season. So here we have top notes of blackcurrant, green leaves, middle notes are honey and nectarine, and base notes are peach and vetiver. I think definitely I smell flowers, I smell green leaves, I smell honey. I think that peach and nectarine add a little bit of fruitiness to it, so it's a very interesting fruity floral. If you guys remember my previous videos, this perfume was inspired by Jo Malone's Nectarine Blossom, and it's very beautiful. Everything which has to do with peach, apricot, nectarine, I'm all up for it. I love those notes in the perfumes. It's very skin-like, very honey sweet, also quite elegant. It smells very niche in my opinion. I think it's unisex, but for me personally it has a little bit more of a feminine side to it because of all of the notes I just mentioned. It's very fresh, very clean, very crisp, something which you can wear with a white blouse or a white crisp shirt, something which you can wear with a floral dress, something which you can wear with a pair of jeans. So basically it matches any kind of outfit. It just makes you feel good, joyful, playful, and very spring romantic, I think. The next fragrance I want to show you is another favorite of mine, which I've been wearing ever since winter, but I think now is the perfect season for it. So this is My Way by Giorgio Armani. I'm really obsessed with this fragrance. I just cannot tell you how beautiful the jasmine in this fragrance is. I also love the bottle. I think I've mentioned it already multiple times on my channel. So let's dive in a little bit into the notes. So here we have orange blossom and bergamot in the top notes. We also have tuberose and Indian jasmine in middle notes, which I think are predominant. I definitely smell jasmine and tuberose here. And in terms of base notes, we have here Madagascar vanilla, cedar, and white musk. Very interested, very sophisticated. I think my first impression of this fragrance that it was a little bit like a bubble gum, but in a good way. It reminded me of those joyful moments of childhood where you carefree, running around, smelling flowers, and I guess that's why I sort of associated it with bubblegum in my head. However, I think it's deeper than that. It's very sophisticated and interesting. It's sweet but not overwhelming, very floral, very unique. I think whenever I smell it, I don't confuse it with any other fragrance. I think it's one of my top fragrances, top worn fragrances of this year so far. Alright, so moving on, I'm gonna show you something which I already shown you before in my, at least one of my previous videos. So this is Amazing Grace by Philosophy, and it's another pretty floral, but it has a very different vibe comparing to the other ones I shown you. I think it has a little bit of a vintage smell to it, a little bit older, a little bit more mature, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just different kind of floral. So in terms of notes here, we have bergamot, grapefruit, and mandarin orange in top notes. We have freesia, jasmine, and rose, and as middle notes. So again, you see the pattern. We have here again jasmine and freesia, but we also have rose, which I think adds it a little bit more maturity, a little bit more elegance and sophistication. And in base notes we have again musk. I think musk sits very well with flowers. It makes them more complicated and more interesting. I love this fragrance. I don't wear it every day just because I think that rose kind of sets the mood here, but it's very interesting. It's very graceful. I think that the bottle and the name matches this perfume very well. It's very graceful, something which you want to wear when you want to dress up a little bit, when you want to put your hair up. And I think I don't see it on a very young girl, but it's a very feminine fragrance for sure. Another one which kind of falls into this classical category is Love Story by Chloe. I have this little version which was gifted to me some time ago, a couple years, and I don't wear it often, but I still enjoy this fragrance very much. I love Chloe perfumes. I feel they are very elegant and timeless. And in terms of notes here, we have top notes of neroli, pear, bergamot, grapefruit, and lemon. And middle notes are orange blossom, stephanotis, I hope I pronounced correctly, rose, peach, and black currant. And then in base notes we have musk, cedar, cashmere wood, and patchouli. If you guys know, I love anything which has patchouli and musk. I also love the floral notes here. I love fruity and citrusy notes here. It's a very interesting fragrance. Again, very classical, very timeless. I see people wearing it probably 50 years ago, and people probably would still wear it 50 years from now. So whenever you're in that classical timeless mood, I think it's a great fragrance. Also a little bit goes a long way. I just pour a little bit on my wrists, and the aroma of the fragrance is just very nice, and it's exactly the right amount. I don't want to overpower people with this fragrance. A little bit goes a long way. Very interesting. Again, we have neroli, which is sort of like an aphrodisiac fragrance. We have rose, but rose smells a little bit different here. Very beautiful, clean, elegant fragrance. Definitely recommend. And then the last one is on more playful side. So this is Olympia Trees by Dolce Gabbana, and I think I already mentioned it before, so I apologize if I repeat myself, but for those of you who didn't watch my previous videos, I had sort of love-hate relationship with this one, because when I tried it in a store for the first couple times, I saw that it was very immature, very chemically, very watermelony, fruity, but sort of like in a body spray or a room spray kind of way. But then once I applied on the skin, and actually I had the blotter with me in my bag, I realized that I want to smell it. There is something which catches my attention. There is something which I want to keep smelling in this fragrance, and I got it actually only this year, so I've been coming around this fragrance for the past 2 or 3 years, and I'm very happy with my purchase. I really love it. I think the reason why I was so prejudiced over this fragrance is because at one point everyone was wearing it, and I just didn't really want to be in that mainstream. And I want to point out the notes here. So notes are actually very interesting. So top notes are kiwi, rhubarb, pink, and pepper. Middle notes is watermelon, hello. So I actually smell it correctly. Cyclamen, jasmine, and base notes are lemon tree, musk, and sandalwood. So as you can see, it's an extremely tropical, exotic, fruity fragrance, but it's also springy because of all the flowers here. I just don't think there's anything quite like it. Yes, it reminds me maybe certain fragrances, but overall bouquet of those notes, I don't think I ever smelled it anywhere else besides Olympia Trees. So to me, it is a spring fragrance. It's joyful, it's feminine, it's something which gives you energy and that sense of happiness. I really love it. It's also sophisticated. I think that rhubarb note is just hits nail on its head. Very interesting. So those were my spring favorites. So if you guys enjoy the video, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. I really enjoy seeing those. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below mentioning your favorite spring fragrances, and I will see you in my next videos. Bye bye.